I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Okay. So I was watching this program. You remember that spin-off series about the mass marketeer? Oh.
Status report. 13 jobs.
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I don't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome. What did he say to that?
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Okay, Captain, she's gone. I'm near about vibrating. I'm so excited. So she got here, and after a few minutes, she said, Hey, do you have some new parts? And I was like, Nah, I used a new soap. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread. She stood stock still and just said, Oh, real soft. Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, Is that dustbat casserole? I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person. Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain. I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted, strong, smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be... We talked about it some. I told her I wasn't sure how it'd work, how I've had a bad time of it in the past. She said we'll take it as it comes. Fix things together. Share meals, talk. Maybe it's all on your account, you know? Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but... So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain. Remember that you are not insured.
This looks like a place. You ready to get my money or what?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the pay. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she said, if we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do... Of course she is. The paper...
I like to think she's dead in spirit, but technically, legally, and regretfully, I'm still Marilyn Fenhill.
That's impossible. By all accounts, she was an elegant and classy woman with impossibly fine bone structure.
That's gotta be the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while.
Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the... And you'd theoretically... But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. I think you have something in your eye. Perhaps I can interest you. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
Can we talk? You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll... Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You talk like someone who likes lists. Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of... Hate to say it, but Halcyon's all... Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered. You don't have to get all Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to... So, you just keep the money. It's nothing personal. It's just the closest thing I've got to a code. Anyway, enough of the touchy-feelies, huh? Something on your mind?
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge? We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
You think the privy's gold-plated too?
After Cascadia in 1084, I was expecting this. Chartrand has a thing for sticking lab coats in tubes, doesn't she?
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking. Hagen. I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen. To keep me quiet. But if you didn't know that, I'm guessing they didn't send you. I always assumed they would put a bullet in my head one of these days. I don't know anyone named Hagen.
That's a gentlemanly way of putting it, Captain. She's obsessed with aliens.
This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker. What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks. Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation, reduced to salvage. We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on us.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. Not for lack of trying. I wanted to save them all, but I wasn't strong enough. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off halcyon crops.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
I can certainly understand why.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy. You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
It may not be pretty, but we risk the colony's downfall if we hinder the doctor's research.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands.
It seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that. We should let her try.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? Alien conspiracy? No. What, did you hit your head on your way in or something? I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. You sure have an inflated sense of self-importance, but that doesn't make you wrong. Now move along. The doc has a lot of work ahead of her, tidying up and such.
I'll keep quiet.
I believe your choice to spare Chartrand would be considered the honorable path, yes? Sublight's money is inconsequential in the face of ethics. The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
CNP pancake mix now requires no experience.
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species, or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
You think maybe she's got an itchy trigger finger? I don't want to find out.
What a surprise. Seems we're no longer wanted here.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
You must be joking. Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of him?
For the last time.
How splendid. Why, just this morning I thought, and here you are. Admittedly. Now, if only. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting... I earned my place here, just like everyone else. Chief Idea Officer. Well, he described the idea. It was... Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted... And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that he was a true... I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. If you have wealth, you're successful. And if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly. You're welcome. Now, do we have any further bid? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars. But now... Oh, do spare me your petty judgment. By simply... Tell... Oh, by the law. I mean, it's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it were... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to
Oh, we get paid this time. I like this plan.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you? Fantastic. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs. The same way anyone gets anything here. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has... For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
How are you feeling, Mr. Vicar? After your, hallucinations?
Fantastic. But it must be said that the sensation of myself as a separate mind inside a bag of skin was the real hallucination.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. It's quite liberating to realize that one is simply an aperture through which the universe experiences itself, and that all my pain and suffering was of my own creation.
So if Felix... snuck into your quarters one night and stole half your underwear and filled the other half with itching powder, you'd kindly thank the universe and take it in stride? Not that I'm asking for any particular reason.
That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or are we getting more and more retired?
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You the lucky few have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district. In Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively. Some assembly required. 24/7 furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home.
Searching for unauthorized person. Elevator. Investigate whether you are not authorized by that security system. What do you think you're doing? Suspicion levels reset.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of him? I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. What? You mean it's just a sham they perpetuate so they can dispose of the rabble? That's brilliant. To take the most burdensome members of our society and simply remove them. Oh, I'll never doubt the wisdom of the board again. Why, I had no reason to be envious at all. What a relief. And how else would I react? A vagrant such as yourself couldn't possibly appreciate the emotional burden this news has lifted from my shoulders. But regardless of your ignorance, I promised you a feat. I suppose that would be appropriate. Very well. Treat yourself to an extra sprat stew or something. In any event, while I'm deeply grateful for the peace of mind you've brought me, I will need some solitude to fully bask in it. So if there's nothing further...
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
Oh, there. That... I must admit, I'm getting... It... I knew it. I just knew it. What a disaster. Did you get a good look around? What was it like? Truly? Why, that's the most... I can't believe they kept this from us. From me. Here, take your payment. I have to fetch my things.
I feel like I ought to be more conflicted about this.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Sure you are. And what is it you're delivering today?
I'll sue every technician and...
There's nothing to see here.
You know, that's just the sort of thing folks say when they're trying to hide.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. Yeah? Let's see it. Looks like your papers are in order. All right, go on through.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Oh, my law. Captain! Captain! That's the minister! Mr. Clark! Oh, wow!
Minister Clark, what a remarkable honor it is to meet you.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Have I not made myself clear? Slowly and loudly, Aloysius. That's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself. Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team. That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term. Which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
What is this system coming to when even the Earth Minister is disillusioned beyond hope?
Will that be all, then? Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course! It's Rockwell again, who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name. But this proves it.
He's attempting to game the system, but he won't be able to get away with it forever. Eventually.
I dearly hope so. And you might be part of... Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell. How should I know? I've been under house arrest for years. But there is a way to find out. And whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's quiet and still.
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time. A reckoning is most certainly due.
Captain, we must investigate Rockwell. An injustice like this cannot go unchecked.
Indeed, it cannot. I can't overstate the urgency of the matter. Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. We're discussing industrial espionage, legal redress, the possible salvation of Halcyon. Is this not exhilarating? Also, this is the longest conversation I've had with someone else in quite some time. I dearly hope I'm not imagining this. Now, we've got to get into the HHC, but only board employees are allowed into... There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons. Well, you won't have much human company down there. When you reach the HHC building, this access card... Aloysius, you fool, where did you put it? Well, I used to have an access card to what used to be my office. But I suppose you'll have to find your own way up to the executive suites. Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shut a gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. Wait! Brockwell has one of the only terminals capable of... Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Brockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here. Why, indeed. I know so little about you, much less... But I'm afraid I don't have many... Besides, I've nothing to lose. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustained... Once the rest of the Earth Directorate see...
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't we do something our own selves?
It's worth a try. But the Earth Directorate still needs that Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here... And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the...
Might I ask how you are faring, Ms. Holcomb?
I'm not winded. Honest. My, boot was untied.
You don't need to keep up appearances. You're among friends. We would never leave you behind.
Oh, for the good old days when you could simply ask.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Captain, I stand out here like a big, greasy thumb.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Operation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high-priority HHC business only. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. Each weapon will need a separate form. Now, let's see. Damn it. When did I run out of forms? I was going to suggest that myself. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your forms. Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny, and they'll paint the walls with your guts.
If you'll forgive my saying so, that outfit looks splendid on you. Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible. Ah. Oh, you were being serious. Will there be anything else? Excuse me, just a moment. Is there something I can do for you?
What's with the big hole in the wall?
I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors. I suppose that is admissible.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, The board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
That was all a story, wasn't it? It's not real.
Well, that was some quite distressing information. Can we talk? If I still believed in the grand plan, a revelation like this would have seriously shaken my faith. Knowing you, I can only assume you have already begun formulating a plan. Yes, of course. And when you do, your propensity for wanton violence hasn't failed us so far. Anything you'd like to discuss? Bakonu, the author, had some interesting... Unfortunately, he was also... I used to believe their religion to be false. How pompous and sure of myself I was. Their basic... I wouldn't say my parents disowned me, strictly speaking. But before they died, I couldn't understand it. I was only trying to make them... I was so certain my potential was wasted as a laborer, and was willing to risk everything just to...
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out to sea. That woman from downstairs is still...
one who's been hounding the clerks? Ooh, gives me the shudders.
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Some idiot.
So UDL's interrogation.
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy and Morale is off limits to everyone without X-36 level clearance. Basically, if you don't work here, or for Chairman Rockwell himself, you're not getting in. I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you, and I don't have any new clearances on the list. What? Oh no. You must be from Chairman Rockwell's office. I'm so sorry. No one told me you were coming. Please, go on through. And let's forget this misunderstanding, huh?
Easy.
Hold it right there. No visitors allowed, citizen. I'm going to need to... Let me guess. She's still holding... We've talked to her before. Just get out of here.
reports I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157, that batch failed spectacularly.
That's all. I really should concentrate on what I'm doing.
Let the record show that subject 23K...
What was that? Hey, you! Open!
Here they come! Ah! I'll fix you right up! No hard feelings, okay? Hey!
Hold it right there!
Lawbreaker! I saw that! No visitors allowed, citizen. What? Okay. Now you really have to go before I...
lawbreaker. I saw that.
Here they come.
Cover me! I'm going in!
That's the last of them!
Not so fast! That's... I have to... And I...
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it. Saw something.
Cross one off!
Brought to you by UDL. Hey, you! Trespassing in the ministry. What are you talking about? You know, that... Listen, I'll let you go this one time.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
You're adjusting before you call. You're anticipating.
Of course I'm anticipating.
You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. Now I don't have to bother trying to save that town. All this happened because some Not always. For the longest time, I could never... You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a storm. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. You have something I want. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using... You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend... I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's...
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? Now arriving at Phineas's top-secret orbital lab.
Busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation. Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save... I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. That's not a plan. That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and chemicals. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed... Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's... That's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space. Just to make room in their hibernation chambers. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever... The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive.
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. you will use your own ship to power up the Hope skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system micro-jumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start a revival. Certain. It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act. Skip drives were never designed to be used within us. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. Certainly. I won't. What? You absolutely should. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time. The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some... Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
Crew member, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his... Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. because I'm not in the business of arresting my own ally. Meet me in my office.
Adjutant Akonde has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say. Consider... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. Remember that you are not insured.
Not so fast. All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival. The signal you sent us is experiencing some interference. My agents will need time to isolate the problem. We're going to monitor Wells until we're ready to make a move. I asked you here to discuss something. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been... Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly, and malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society. I know this must come as a surprise to you.
The powerful make the mistakes, and the powerless are left paying the price, as it has always been. Tell me, Adjutant, have you anything to offer beyond the usual false platitudes?
I'm offering decisive action, Vicar DeSoto. I can no longer depend on lazy, weak-willed bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse. I'll answer however I can.
The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil master. The program is logical. It's reasonable. It's merciful. Phineas Wells does not have a plan. He has an... Halcyon is already starving. We can't possibly help me execute the Lifetime Employment Program. And you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have... This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Before you interfered in Roseway, Dr. Anton Crane was on the verge of developing a powerful appetite suppressant. It would have made his career. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option. When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. And you deliver results. That quality alone. Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before? I can't save this colony alone. I need... When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked. Even disgusted. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had we have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliver... I admit, I occasionally fantasize about making an executive decision. Do you have any idea how much paperwork is involved in ordering someone's execution through the usual... We need to talk about... Thanks to your meddling, Edgewater is without power. Operations have ground to a halt. You've left us. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe...
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton...
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Vicar.
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a When you diverted power to the botanical lab, you spelled the end of Edgewater. But the town is still hanging on, still living off whatever meager resources we sent. With every passing day, Edgewater leaches more of our limited resources. Because right now, you're the only person. Halcyon is going to collapse while the... I'm not asking you to be a murderer. I'm asking you to be a surgeon. We don't have any other option. No. Allowing thousands of colonists to starve to death because we couldn't make one cold-blooded decision is insane.
You talk less like a human than mechanicals I've known.
I am responsible for every single human. Steel your spine, Captain. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. I rather like... Not true. You can choose to say, yes, ma'am, or at once. I'm disappointed. I was so sure.
Here they're...
May you find peace in death. your confession now! Everyone all right? Incoming! Nice one! Down they go! Nice hit! This is bad! Your life was merely an illusion anyway. Nice kill! Bring him down! Nice hit! Take him down! I'm taking cover! Make your pay!
Try anti-Cleo. It's better than nature.
If I spit, you think I can...
Anti-Cleo's antibiotics. Take comfort in knowing that anything antibiotics cannot stop will probably...
Here they come!
Got him!
Down they go! Ah! 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 Ah!
No!
Please!
Bring him!
Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checkpoints just to take a bus.
Someone's coming.
Look out!
No!
Crew members Ellie and Matt. We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, board the sun. The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wanted... Also, there are hundreds of thousands of... Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of aspect. I need you to reroute power. You'll have to connect... If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side. Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering. Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.